Hey everyone, welcome to the video this morning here. Hopefully you're having a good day wherever you are in the world. I want to take a look at Bitcoin and take a look at a couple things here. But before we get started, of course, the normal disclaimers. This isn't financial advice. I'm not your financial advisor, and I'm just here to give my opinion on the market. And you're responsible for doing your own research and managing your own trades. And hopefully I'm just one point of reference for you. And so what I'd like to do is go ahead and kind of dive into the charts here. The first thing that I want to point out, the absolute first thing I want to point out here is that currently on the day, most Tether traded assets are actually up for the day. So if you bought right at the candle closure, you are in a bit of profit right now. Not a lot, unless you're in like Lumens, which is up 2.24%, and EOS, which is up 3% on the day. Litecoin is up 2.5%, while Bitcoin is only up about 1% on the day. But nonetheless, if you bought right at the end of the day, then you're in profit. If you bought at any point in time today, you are at a little bit more profit. So I'm just gonna make that one quick note here. But I do want to take a look at something as we're watching the price of Bitcoin rise. I mean, this obviously could collapse at any point in time, but I do think that we are going to be in for a little bit of a relief rally. Now, not to say that this is the end of the correction, but as we can watch the charts doing this right now as we're speaking, the price is kind of bouncing up just a teeny little bit. When we were doing the video yesterday, right? I did a quick update yesterday talking about some key levels. So right now, long positions are probably fine as long as we don't break below 6,000. And then, of course, the area that I'm interested in breaking through is going to be, probably right here where we had this tight squeeze, and this was. This was back on the 16th, so this was a couple days ago. So we're talking about this range between 68.80 and about 68.60. If we can come back up into this cluster, that obviously would be ideal. I would love for that to happen. Right now we are trading. We just closed this last hour, and of course we're only like 2 minutes into this next hourly candle, but we finally closed above this 21 exponential. And if we could take a look at this 21 exponential over the last several days, what we can see is we made an attempt back here when we were up trying to break above, trying to get close to 7,000. We got all the way up as high as 69.30. Next candle we got to 69.33. We did close above the 21 exponential, and then we rolled over and failed. All right, but what we didn't see on this last attempt, we didn't see any follow through. And right now we are trying to get a little follow through, which is, something that we can't say for this. We closed above it and then we basically collapsed. We went up $3 and then we collapsed. Right now, we closed this candle at at 66.66, and then we are seeing at least an attempt. We're seeing at least a little bit of an attempt. A couple things that are different from this move here compared to this move back here is we were still in a compressionary phase, and then we continued an expansion to the downside. We had been compressed for, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is our 6th hour of compression, where you can see the Bollinger Bands are pretty tight. We extended beyond our bottom band, and we quickly moved back up above the 20 simple moving average on the hourly, and we closed above the 21 exponential on the hourly. And there is a teeny bit of conviction behind this. I do think that this level right here, let me go ahead and mark this off because this is going to be pretty important short term. This level right here is going to be very important, and it's sitting right there at about 6611.50, but let's just call it 6600 just for good measure. Right now we're at 66.75 and falling. If we close this hourly back below the 21 exponential, and obviously there is 55 minutes left in this candle, so lots can happen. in the next hour. But if we start to see ourselves closing below this 21 exponential, then I do think we probably will come back down to these lower levels, which the 21 exponential on the hourly right now is at 66.60. We've got our 55, which is sitting right up here at 67.77. Again, I'm interested in this cluster right up here. Let's go ahead and mark it off. We have this high and all the way down to this low. If we can pop back into this trading zone, so above 68.20 and below 69, we'll call it 69.50. Actually, I need to pull this down, 69.30. If we can push back up into this zone, then I will flip short-term bullish. I will do that. I will flip short-term bullish. It's hard for me to say. Because right now what I'm starting to see here is I'm starting to see we have this low back here, we have another low back here, and we have a third low back here. I don't know if there's any geometry behind this move, but if there is, and it really doesn't look that bad. It doesn't look that bad here, guys. It is possible that this was a little bit of a capitulation candle. Now we're going to be clustering up here. Again, I say as long as we can stay above 6,600, then I think we do have more momentum to the upside, especially once this hourly candle closes. If this has any body at all to it, if this does happen to close at 67.25 or so, I do think that there is potential for momentum to the upside. But as the price is going down, again, not panicking or anything, because there is 53, 54 minutes left on this candle, so anything can happen. We have our ups and our downs, our ebbs and our flows here. If we continue closing above this 21 exponential on the hourly, then I do think short term we do have potential momentum up to 67.75, maybe so high as 68.88. But you gotta keep an eye on 6600, okay? Because if we break through 6600, you know what's going to happen. We have all of this order book which is gone, right? So any buy orders have already been eaten through in this. So if we come back down here to 6,600, and we're sitting right here, quickly approaching that, likely it's going to flow pretty quick down there. Hello, Stock Rumors. You have a really fantastic name. How are you doing today? But anyway, moving back down here to the 6,600 level, we got to have this hold because, chances are very good. We have divergence on three fronts here. I would be willing to bet that there is extreme bullish divergence on this hourly candle because of the velocity and the quickness that we bursted ourselves out of it. So I do think that there is potential for a little bit more upside. I will not turn bullish, really bullish, unless we get back into this trading cluster. If we come back down here, then I will flip bearish. But coming all the way down here and moving ourselves up into this purple zone, that would mean that basically this was a liquidity hunt, and we are going to be maybe continuing to move to the upside. Then at this point, once we get up into this area, then you're going to start seeing the inverted head and shoulder meebs and all of that start to come out of the woodwork. Nonetheless, I'm keeping an eye on this 21 exponential on the hourly because this is very important for us to hold. Very important for us to claim our first set of support. After it has been resistance. This 21 exponential on the hourly has been resistance. Most recently, it's been right here, and then we had also this level right here, which was also resistance, and we've had a decent push above it. And if we can close above it again, I think that will lead some merit to a continuation of the upside. Let's take a look at the 2 hour, see what this is looking like. Basically, we just had rejection on the 21 exponential on the 2 hour, and if we can take a look at this, we have had nice clusters on the 2 hour on the 21 exponential up here. It was suppressing the price. We had rejection up here at the 21 exponential on the 2 hour, and then we just most recently have had that rejection there. What I am the most interested in is the 3 hour. The 3 hour has been governing price action again for the majority of this this downward pressure ever since we broke it back here on December 14th. Rejection over here, continued rejection, and that last attempt had rejection. And then we basically haven't tested it. We haven't tested the 20-minute exponential on the 3 hour really ever since December 16th, which I know that was only 2 days ago, but look how far down the price has gone since then. You know, right now this candle that we have here on the 3 hour doesn't look too bad. Doesn't look too bad. We're sitting here at 66.48. We've got 50 minutes left. I say as long as this 3 hour candle closes above 66.86, if it can do that, then I do think that we do have a little bit more follow through, maybe up to the 6,800 level, which the 21 exponential on the 3 hour is sitting right there at 6,800. All right, one more thing I want to point out, that I'm going to go ahead and close out this video because I think you all get the gist. We got to hold 6,600. Be really great to get in that purple zone above 6,800. But let's just take a look here at a bearish scenario. If we are going to continue the bearish pattern, if we break 6,600, where are we likely going to go? Right, that's what everybody wants to know. I'm going to take a look at our at the BLX, and I'm going to go to a weekly time frame. And probably what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, let's see here, I'm going to go ahead and trash anything that I've got open as far as drawings go. This level down here, which the 200 simple moving average at $5,024, that level, I mean, it cannot break. That has to hold. Because as you can see throughout the entire history of Bitcoin, again, we're looking at a weekly chart, once the 200 simple moving average became a thing, we pushed through it and we quickly rejected, and we had a bullish move up above it. Back here in August of 2015, we had the same thing. We had, an attempt to push below. We rode the 200 simple moving average, and then we basically had our bull market start up at the 200 simple moving average. Back here, we tested it. We had a really, really nice reaction off of the 200 simple moving average. If we come back down to it, we potentially could be riding 5,000 to 5,500 for a few weeks. Let's just take a look back here for a moment. Let's take a look back here and see how long it took. So we had, rejection wick back here. And we had another rejection wick the next week, and then we had basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks. So if this happens again, we're talking about the entire month of January, basically, where we could be riding the 200 simple moving average. If we break below it and we start having price action, this price action was below, but to be fair, it was very close to that moving average. If we start getting some price action below this, I say if we do start trading in the 4,000 to 4,500 level, that is extremely bearish to me, and I do think that some of these analysts that are saying that we're going down to 1,000 to $1,200 to $1,800, I do think it is likely if that does happen. Again, if that does happen, if we start to trade at that 42 to 4,500 level, my opinion, death for Bitcoin happens when we break the 200 simple on the weekly. That is when things are going to get pretty bad, in my opinion. If we start having price action on weeklies below the 200 simple moving average, we have to see rejection. We have to see support here. Otherwise, things are likely going to look pretty bad. I'm just going to outline this one time for you guys, and then I don't want to spread any any panic in the market. I'm just going to go from the top to the bottom, and then going back up here to the top. On this specific pitchfork, which is our modified Schiff, we have support here at 5,600, and again, this is BLX, so we don't have the current price action on here yet. So just to keep that in mind. If I modify this to a regular pitchfork, this is what a lot of people are taking a look at. Moves down to, this is looking at, 17, 1800. Go down a week, we're looking at 1500. Obviously, we're going to get to a point where we hit zero. Let's just go ahead and take off that zero because that, whoops. And get out of my history there. All right, well, looks like I just had a little bit of a flub here, so let me just take care of this and get rid of my history. So that way, sorry about that. Tried to get a horizontal line there, and I ended up messing up the charts. Okay, so let's get back to this here. We want to take off the zero on this, and again, this is this is kind of a bearish scenario here, but I don't want to get too ambitious here. But when you're taking a look at a chart like this, and you're trying to predict, where things are bottoming based on pitchforks and things like that, you got to know where that zero is, because obviously there is crazy invalidation below that. And I'm taking a look at a linear scale. I'm not taking a look at a log scale. But nonetheless, you do have the potential that we could come down here if this 200 simple moving average breaks. All right. Well, that's what I've got for you right now. Again, if you do have any questions or anything, feel free to, hop in the Discord, ask any questions, throw in any comments here. If this video did help you at any point, feel free to like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. And, wherever you are in the world, hopefully you're having a good day, a good night, a good evening.